Hi friends, Rondi with Infinite Color Studio here, and we are going to continue with the Happy Camper series, and this is the vintage camper that we're going to be working on today. Your friends and artists will draw and paint a colorful camper with fun vintage vibes, like totally 70s, and adding a lot of embellishments to your project might be a lot of fun. As you can see back here, we have a couple of examples that I have already finished up for you guys. It's perfect for artists of all ages, from kindergarten to 105, and everybody will have fun doing it. It's easy and time-saving, and there's some templates you can use to help with the kids that don't draw very well, and even adults that don't draw very well. So, you know, that's the easy part right there. And it will help young artists gain some confidence while drawing steps that allow more experienced artists to create a work of art that's unique to them, and they can just use freehand and have fun with their project and do whatever they want to. They don't have to follow exactly what I do. I'm just giving ideas and some step-by-step. So have fun doing this, and I really appreciate you joining me here with Infinite Color Studio. Thank you. Okay guys, here we are, and we're ready to roll on our vintage camper. So you want to have all your supplies. You want to have your 11 by 14 canvas, if you're going to use the templates especially. Because they are large, and you need a pencil of some sort and an eraser, but you probably won't need to erase if you're using the template, so that should be fine. You're going to want some acrylic craft paints, so I have quite an assortment. You definitely want white. I use Apple Barrel. You can get it at Walmart or Amazon, and you definitely want black. Okay, and so a variety of other colors that you prefer, your preference. There's no specific colors that you need for this project. Okay, so you want to have that. I use a plate instead of a palette. You can also use magazines that you can just, throw away that top page, or throw away your paper plate. If you don't have paper plates, a regular plate's fine. Acrylic comes off pretty quick if you don't let it sit. Embellishments, you want to have some sort of ribbon or rickrack or something like that. So I have a ribbon, just whatever you have at home. I'm going to use this for curtains. I got this off of a Neater's gift bag. So, anything, save stuff like that. That's awesome stuff to save. I'm using some foam flowers. You can use foam, you can use whatever you guys have at home. I'm going to use some little pom-poms to glue onto the ribbon, and a couple of buttons. You want to have your paintbrushes. I'm going to use a flat one and a round one. And for your finer details, I suggest this one has like a really flat edge. Some of you ladies might use that for makeup type things, and or a really tiny brush. So you can see the difference there. So you want something to make your lines on your trailer. Okay, that's about it. You want to have a water cup. I really like to use just a tin can. Guys, you don't have to go crazy with expenses. I've also used Jello cups. The little Jello cups are fantastic for that. And scissors. You want to have scissors. Any kind of scissors will do. Child scissors are perfect. They help the little kids be able to cut better. And they're safe, the safety scissors, if you have very small ones. And a hot glue gun. You're going to want that for the embellishments. Most of it will not stick to the board without a glue gun. Okay, once you have all that, you're set to go. Okay, now that you have all of your supplies, you're ready to start. I've already done one, so that's just an example of what maybe a smaller student would do. There's no trees or anything in the background. Older students can draw a forest scene if they want to and paint that accordingly, you know, trees with green and brown and maybe a path or something to go to the trailer. So, you know, use your imagination. You don't have to do everything that I am doing, and you can certainly do more than what I am doing. So this is just a small example. All right. So you have your template. I've already cut out this one, but I'm going to cut out this one. So go ahead and start cutting your template, or you can draw it freehand if you feel that you are able to do that. It's fun to let the little kids do it also, and that way you have a more unique structure because they are not perfect at cutting along the lines. Some are really great. But this is good practice for them because they need these fine motor skills. So this is good practice for the kids. Okay, get rid of your trash. All right, I'm not going to use this one. I'm going to use this one this time. So put that according to where you like it. Since it's facing this way, I'm going to put a little more space on this side of the trailer. And then you're going to just trace it with your pencil. So hold it down. Make sure it's as even as you can get it. Whatever you feel that you can do as a student or a parent or friend, whoever you have joining you for this. Also, when you draw, you don't want to draw like you're writing a story. Okay, you don't want to draw like you're writing. You want to have your hand in the middle at least, if not further back. You want to have your pencil loose or your paintbrush. You don't want to be restricted like you're writing letters or the alphabet or anything. So you just want to draw all the way around. And then you have your cute little trailer. So if you feel like it, you can cut out all these things, but I highly suggest you just don't. So draw a rectangle for your door. Again, you want to just keep that pencil loose. A doorknob, doesn't have to be perfect. And we'll go around that with black later. And a window. Another large window. Oval. These are oval. And then you want your little storage cabinet here. Again, you don't want this very dark because you're going to be painting over it. It's just a guideline. Little knob in the middle, and you're good to go. So if you want some designs, you can also do that. And if you're a stickler for straightness, then you might want a ruler. But you don't want to go through the door with your line or whatever other design you do. I'm going to try to match that up evenly with that. And about right there. Okay, so again, it doesn't have to be perfect. All right, so you are ready to paint in a couple of seconds here. Okay, now you are ready to paint. So you don't want to put big blobs. You want to have small blobs. You can always add more paint later. It's just like food. You don't want too much. You can always go back for seconds if you're still hungry. So I have that same philosophy for paint. Don't need big blobs. I know that I'm going to use a lot of orange and white. That's going to be my background. I know I'm going to use a little bit of all of those, and I'm definitely using black, and I'll be adding some water onto the black. Okay, I'm finished with my pencil, so if you want to get those out of the way, you can do that. So you want to have your palette handy and all your brushes and your watercolor. Okay, we are set to go. So the first thing I'm going to do is my background. You want to do the whole background. If you are an older child and you're going to do trees, you want to just use little brush strokes for leaves. And you want probably to put your tree trunk first, and then little brush strokes for all your leaves. Dab, dab, dab. Okay, same here, and you can go all the way in the background. Just don't go through your trailer. All right. Okay, I'm going to use a flat brush for the background. Get it wet a little bit. You might also want to have a paper towel or a towel you don't care about, or a messy mat like I'm using. It's just a piece of paper from a last project, but it's big. So now I'm going to mix up my orange and yellow, just a little. And the background for the little kids doesn't have to be perfectly perfect. If you load your brush like this, that also makes for some interesting different colors. So I'm gonna just go around the camper. As you can see, it's loaded, so it's making different types of stripes, white and orange and kind of like a peach color. Or you can have perfectly smooth colors and whatnot. The acrylic will spread out pretty well if you go back and forth. And you can put a thin layer, or you can have gobs and gobs and have a thick layer. See how I loaded the brush and it has like a gradated colors, so white and then darker to orange. And you can flip your brush, or you can smooth those colors out, whatever you feel like doing. Your small kids are going to do pretty much whatever they want anyway. And this is very fun for them. And I hope you enjoyed the project. So go ahead and just paint that whole background. Okay? Okay friends, we're done with the background, so now we're going to paint this. What do we do with our brushes? We rinse them out as best we can, because we don't want that acrylic to stick. If it does, it's really hard to get out of brushes. Not so bad on flat surfaces, it just peels right off like plastic. But you want to get that brush really clean, and then you want to store it, not in your water pan, but in whatever you're storing it, with the bristles up. Otherwise you're going to end up having a funeral for your beautiful brushes that you bought. And we don't want to have any funerals for our brushes. So rinse that out really good, and then store it with the bristles up. Okay, I'm going to just kind of wipe that down, stick it with my other brushes. Now I'm going to use my round brush to paint the trailer with. I think that would be a little bit better as far as that kind of stuff goes. So go ahead and paint your trailer however you like. Again, just go around the edges of your doors and your lines. We are going to outline that in black here very shortly. So I'm just going to get started, and then you guys can do the rest. Just go around all the pieces with your brush, because we're going to outline all of this in black anyway, so it's okay if you go over the lines just a little. Okay, so go ahead and get started painting your trailer. Okay guys, now that your trailer has been painted, you're going to want that black acrylic paint in your small brushes. So I'm going to try both, see which one I like better. You guys can do what you do with what you have. Don't forget you need a hitch, and don't forget you need tires. So we're going to go around all of this with black, just real quick. And actually that because it is a little more precise, it does take a little bit of time. So that's pretty nice. If you want to, you can fill in your gaps. You can cover up your pencil with this. That's kind of nice, the thin one. I'm going to try the flat edge, see if I like that. And the acrylic dries pretty fast, especially if you did thin layers. Oh, I like that one much better. Much more control. If you're a control freak, this flat one's a good one. All right, yeah, a lot more control with that. So that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to go all the way around the trailer. I'm going to go all the way around the doors and windows and the handles. I'm going to separate my colors here. So you guys go ahead and go around your whole trailer with black outline. And if you need to thin out the black to make it smoother to go around, just add a tiny wee bit of water. Okay, we'll meet you back here after you are finished outlining your trailer. Okay guys, we are finished with the outlining of the trailer. I don't really like how the tire looks. So if you don't like how something looks, you can fix it. Again, acrylic dries really fast, especially if the layers are thin. If they're super thick, they loaded those brushes up. It might take a while to dry. That's one good thing about acrylic, especially for kids. It's great. If you're an adult and you want to spend a lot of money, like I did in college, you can get turpentine, the oil that goes in the oil paintings, and it's quite an expensive adventure, but really cool pictures, and you can almost get the same effect with acrylic though. All right, so next, make sure that your kids have lots of embellishments to choose from that are within reach of your station. You want ribbon, fabric flowers, pom-poms, fabric scraps, small gems, buttons, paint markers, hot glue gun, and scissors for your kiddos. Make sure that each kid has a pair of scissors. And what you're going to do first is arrange the embellishments on the camper and cut items like ribbon or fabric to the desired length before gluing. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. I've got this ribbon here. I'm gonna put it across like this, I think. So I'm gonna cut off some of it. Actually, I'm gonna go a little bit over, because what I'm gonna do is I'm going to turn this canvas over and glue it to the other side. So it just goes around, the canvas. So you can do that, or whatever you have, some rickrack or other ribbon, whatever you guys have at home. Or if you went and bought some, great. There's little kits like this one that I got from Amazon. All-in-one arts and crafts jar. It's got all kinds of fun stuff. It has the ribbons that I used, markers, it's got sticks, buttons, eyeballs, feathers, all kinds of fun stuff, and not very expensive. So all-in-one arts and crafts jar. I highly recommend it. But there's other things out there that you guys can get. Costco sometimes has a lot of fun stuff, that like a big giant kit that you could buy. Walmart too. Amazon's a great resource. I use it a lot. So cut your ribbon, and then you're going to be putting things on. My canvas is mostly dry, so you want to get your pom-poms and everything, and I think I covered them all up under here. Yep. All right. You can use buttons or pom-poms for the handles or the tire. If you felt like doing that, you could do that. Or you could do this. So that's where your hot glue gun is going to come in. I think those are some cool ideas. Absolutely fantastic ideas you can do if you want to. Remember, you're going to have your foam flowers or whatever, you want to put everything on your trailer the way you want it to go. And I'm just going to have that button up there. My little pom-poms I'm going to glue onto the ribbon. So we want I think I want the pinks on the edge. These guys there. You could have things that are dangling down, all kinds of stuff. So I think I'm going to put the buttons for the tires and the knobs. I think that's really cute. So you guys make sure that lay it out, and then you're going to glue it down. Okay, we'll meet you back here in a couple of seconds. Okay, now that you have everything sorted out where you want it, now you're going to start gluing things down. Like I said, I think I'm going to use my buttons on here. So I'm going to put the glue right on the canvas, because if I put it on the button, then I'm going to be touching the glue, and I don't want to. It's hot. So be careful, kids. Glue guns are hot. Here we go. You can also draw in details, designs, whatever, with some Posca markers. I have gold and white. They're really fun, or the generic brand. I also get a lot of stuff from Sketchbox, which is a subscription art box. You never know what you're going to get, but you get a lot of cool stuff. So if parents want to spend, it's about $35 a month approximately. I kind of stopped it for a while because I had a lot that I wasn't using just yet. So, but you can even buy individual boxes, and in those they probably will tell you what you're getting. All right, so your pom-poms you want to glue. Now I'm going to glue it directly onto this ribbon, and the ribbon will already be glued down just because of the glue seeping through the thin ribbon. Not all your ribbon is going to do that. Your rickrack might not do that. So just depends on the material you're using. I'm going to put this one over here towards the back. You can draw flowers. You can, again, like the older kids are probably, they might like this, that's fine. But they can also, forget this whole background and draw that foresty background, maybe some mountains back there, trees, whatever they want. They're older kids and they can decide. Try to place that one smack in the middle. I am a little bit of a control freak. I'm sorry, guys. And like I said, this is definitely going to stick right to the canvas, even though I'm putting the glue on the ribbon, because it will seep through. So when I'm all done gluing everything, I'm going to turn the canvas over, fold this, and glue it to the other side. So we've got all that glued. This is the fun part, decorating it. I mean, the painting is obviously fun. If you have these foam stickers, they do stick pretty well to the canvas after you've painted it. So those are fun too. If you guys have those, super cute. You can put any designs you want. I'm just kind of thinking of like the 70s when these campers were very popular. I kind of want one, seriously. Okay, you've got your flowers. Now you're going to want to design things. I'm going to glue this later, but you can now use your markers or just keep gluing stuff on if that's what you want to do. So your Posca markers are, this one's very fine, very, very fine. Maybe I want to go around my flower just to make some more exciting, cute marks. This one's a really, really fine marker, so that's for very, very fine details. I have another one that's not so fine. I thought I had another one too, but I guess I'm wrong. Make sure it's primed. Everything's ready to go. do stuff like that. You could even, you know, add some more fun marks to the rest of your cabin. Curtains. If you want curtains, you could either paint them in, or you can get your fabric, kind of measure it. This one I'm going to split in half and make two here and one tiny one there. So it's a little bit crooked at the top, so I'm going to cut it where it looks a little more even. Get rid of that. Trash. That goes in the trash. Alright. So you want to measure the length. You don't want it flapping around too much. It will stick out. Depending on the cloth that you use. And about that size. But I'm going to cut this in half. This one just cuts right here, so pretty easy. Flip. And I'm going to scrunch it up with glue. Get rid of these on the other side. So we're going to cut this in the middle to make two different curtains for each side. This is where your hot glue This is where your hot glue gun comes in again. So you're going to just glue the surface where you want your curtains to go. And don't forget, it's hot, 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 hot. So little kids, you might want to have a grown-up helping you with this. Or if you're wearing gloves or something. Hot. Okay, got my curtains down. And now for this side. This one I think I'm going to scrunch a little bit because it's small. I mean, the material's big, or I could cut it, but I think I'm going to scrunch it just a little. So use your imagination, guys. You can do it. You are smart. And you're an artist, and artists do what they want to. So yes, you can follow my directions, but it's fun to also just do what you want. Let's see, what do I want to do with this tire? Do I want to make some spokes? And I think I want the white again, just to kind of match the door here on the green. Some scalloping. Oop, going to the, there we go. All right, and now you can decorate it even more if you want to, or leave it alone. You could put flowers all up here, sky, clouds. You can put rickrack on the bottom. You can make a little trail. You can make shadows, especially you older kids. Maybe some shadows under here. I like to do hatching for shadows. Okay, so we've got a little bit of shadowing under the tire. This is blue. You can draw some flowers over here if you want to. You can use various colors. Posca markers are awesome and kids love them. Grown-ups love them too. little piece of land. So these are just ideas. You don't have to do everything on here. They're just super fun ideas for you, okay? Let's see. That Posca marker dries. I might add some white in there, just to give it some definition. All right, and then you can, like just add some flowers or clouds or whatever you feel like doing, and your project is finished. You can frame it, give it to Grandma and Grandpa. You can upload it to Artsonia. I love Artsonia. Some of you have already used that and bought t-shirts of your kids' art, all kinds of stuff. So there's your little trailer. And don't forget, if you do have things hanging off, either to trim it or you can flip it over and glue it down, which is what I'm going to do. So just a little bit of glue there, and you don't have to touch it because it is hot, hot, hot. Hot, hot, hot. Very hot, but it dries fast. So that's the wonderful thing about hot glue guns. They do dry pretty fast. On the back of some canvases is pretty fun. You can write a title for your project, who you are that made the project, what you used. It's mixed medium, acrylic and the other things. So acrylic and embellishments. You can sign it and you can put the date on it for when you made your project, which is pretty fun. And that way, when you're old and you look back at your art and you're like, oh my gosh, look what I did when I was in first grade. Okay? All right. Enjoy and have fun. Thank you so much for joining me with Infinite Color Studio. Thank you.